need to collaborate with other members, a good sense of what TSANet Connect is, exactly how it works, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A, and I'll do a quick little demo as well. Okay, so starting out with, if you're not familiar with TSANet, it's been around for 26, going on 27 years. We've got about 650 members now, and it's basically designed as a not-for-profit to bring these vendors together to work on multi-vendor issues. So that's just in a nutshell what our focus is. And this picture kind of describes how TSANet is designed to work, and also how TSANet Connect is designed to work. And that's really to focus on connecting an engineer at one member to an engineer at another member. So the classic use case is you're working on an issue, it has some other vendors' products in the environment, and you feel that it would benefit to bring that other member in to jointly troubleshoot and try to isolate the issue. So you're going to use TSANet Connect to make that connection. And then once you have that connection with the other engineer, you're going to work together to isolate or resolve the issue, and all kind of designed around this improved customer experience. Then as far as when you can use TSANet, it's really very, very broad use case, and how I like to describe it is whenever you have a customer in need. I've got a couple of use cases here, but really in summary, it can be anything from system outage to an installation issue. So anything really in the scope of support. The collaborating in the open groups, the key is you're collaborating on a mutual customer. So it's a customer both of yours and another member. So that's kind of the use case and when you can use it. So then transitioning into TSANet Connect, this is a new system. It's really the next generation system based on a couple of systems that we have had in the past. So we used to have, and you guys are probably familiar with using the member web, which is kind of a manual process. So you go in and you view a contact document. It tells you how to collaborate with another member. This is a form-based approach. So you're basically going to search for a member, pull up a contact document, and collaborate that way. So much more structured, hopefully more consistent, and a lot more reliable as far as how you get connected to the other member. And then it's really designed also to allow pretty easy integration into your systems and processes for inbound collaboration as well. So that's kind of what it is. As far as how you access the system, and once I kind of go through this, we'll spend a little bit of time, make sure everybody's got a login or can get a login. You have a specific login page. So if you go to arcserve.connect.tsanet.org, if you have an existing login with the member web, you should be able to log in with your email and your password. If you do not have a login with the existing system, we've set you up to where all you need to do is put in your work email address. It's going to send you a link, and you can convert that temporary link. That link is good for 30 days, but you can convert that to a permanent account by simply going into the profile and setting in a password. And I'll show you how that works here after the call. Okay, so very, very easy to get access to the system. So then once you're in the system, very simple to use. And again, I'll do a demo on this as well, but I just want to kind of show you here in slides first. The finding the member, very straightforward. That's really what the system's about. Is you can do a dynamic search here on the left-hand side, or you can also pin your favorites in the pull down, and I'll show you that. So we'll star on each process form, and when you select that, it'll add it to your list of favorites. So if you have some partners that you work with a lot, you could certainly put that in your favorites list. The system will also guide you through any type of exceptions that you might find, and here's a good example, right? So in the search, you could run into an issue where you see a partner, but there's this text that says you don't have a relationship with them, send an invite. Also, you could run into an issue where you search for a partner and you can't find them, right? It's not in there. So for both of these, if you select those links, It'll ask you for just a little bit of information. You press submit. That's going to go to TSANet staff, and we're going to work with your business manager to resolve those types of issues. It might be a problem with a search. It could be that, you know, we have a member that that we need to bring in, or a member that we need to set up a relationship with you. But we'll work on those issues. And definitely, this is something that we want you as a user to do, because we want you to feel like you can go here and always find the partner that you need to collaborate with. So if something's wrong, we definitely want to know about it. And then once you do find the member, you're going to be taken to this process form. And you'll see these process forms all have the same look and feel. There may be some additional custom fields on some, and I'll show you a few examples with that. But in general, these are going to be very, very simple to fill out, very clear as far as what's needed. And over time, every member will have this type of method. So our goal as far as migrating members is we'll have 100% of the members migrated by the end of the year. So you'll see, and again, I'll show you this a little bit in the demo. You may find some members that still show their old process documents on there, but over time, you're going to find more and more and more that are going to be this process form method, and in the end of this year, you'll find 100% like that. So next, I'm going to kind of take you through a bit of how it works end to end. I know this is a little busy slide, but I'm going to kind of walk through it. You have on the left-hand side the member that is making the request. So in this case, let's just assume that that's your organization. And on the right-hand side is the receiver, right? So this is a member that you are collaborating with. So what you do is you log into the system, you find that member, you're going to fill out this process form, and you're going to press submit. And as a sender, that's really all you have to do with TSANet. You don't need to return back to it or do anything. From this point, the email process is going to complete your connection with that other member. So you as a sender, you're going to get an email that contains all the information you just entered into that form. You'll also get this escalation instructions. You can see here at the top of the form. It's going to give you information on, you know, what to do if something goes wrong, right? So if you don't get a response or you need to escalate the issue further down, you always have those escalation instructions. So then the receiving side is also going to get an email, and they get an email with this respond to button in it. So part of the process then is they click that button. They're going to be taken to a form where they are going to enter their case number, their assigned engineer, and their contact details. And then that gets sent back to the sender. So at this point, the connection is complete. Both the sender and the receiver know who the engineers are, who the case numbers are, how to collaborate. And at this point, you're now working within your systems, normally how you normally work. So whether that's sending emails, whether that's making phone calls, whether that's coordinating a WebEx or what have you, you're working directly with that engineer, you know, based on what's required to solve the case. So TSANet Connect is not in the middle of the working the case. And in the same sense, you don't, as I said before, you don't have to ever go back to TSANet Connect and update it. So as soon as we see that initial response, we've basically kind of flagged that as a closed connection. We will, in the end, it's 3 days after a P1 or 2 and 5 days after a P3, we will send you a survey. And again, love to have you fill these things out. It gives us some input on, you know, how did the collaboration go? It could maybe still be ongoing. In that case, you could hold off a bit. And again, you can see here, we always send those escalation instructions. So for some reason, you've lost the original emails and you need to escalate the issue. It gives you the information on how to do that. Okay, and then as far as your inbound process, luckily you guys had an existing email process, so that was very easy to migrate over to the TSANet Connect system. So you're set up to where an email will arrive at the support alias, and auto creates the case in your Zendesk system. So really the main thing that changes on your inbound process side compared to previous is the email will be formatted. So you'll see a much cleaner and clearer information coming in, and it will have that button on it to respond to the partner. So what you would want to do is make sure that you click that button, and then you're going to be inputting your Zendesk case number, the assigned engineer, and then the contact details. And you need to do that within the SLA, and you'll see that SLA embedded in the email as well, so it'll be very, very clear. But then after, as we said, after that initial response, the assigned engineer is just going to work it as a normal case to closure within your own system and using your own policies and tools, everything that kind of follows your normal case management process. Okay, so then moving on to issues that could come up. The first type of issue, and I think this would be the most common with an engineer working an issue, is you're having a problem with a specific case. And for that, if you recall, in all of the emails you're going to get as a sender, you're always going to get that escalation section. So I'll be very clearly saying, if you're having problems, here's what you need to do, right? So it's kind of how to step out of the process and engage management, give a higher level of visibility, and resolve those types of issues on that case. Any type of issue with the system, you can contact us directly. And then on your main homepage, we're going to update that with your internal contacts that are your business manager with TSANet, in case you have questions on TSANet, how to use it from an internal standpoint. So those are kind of the three resources there. So that's really it as far as using the system. I'm going to maybe pause here real quick and see if there's any questions before I go in and do a quick little demo so you can kind of see how this works. But any questions at this point? No? Okay. So I'm going to go into a quick demo to give you a sense of how this works. I'm going to simulate a member collaborating in towards your organization, but as a caller, you'll see exactly how this works. On the top side as a caller, you will not have this menu. This is the admin menu, and after we finish up the caller thing, we're going to dig into that. So anybody that's on the call that isn't admin certainly can stay on, and we'll kind of explain the functionality under the admin. But as a caller, you'll have visibility into your case history, right? So if you view this, it will show you all of the outbound requests that you've made. Again, it's kind of a nice to have because you're getting all these emails and you're really not required to go back to TSANet Connect after you make the initial request. You'll also see your profile here. This is important when you are doing that first registration via email. It's going to create an account for you, but you will need to go in and update it with your phone number and then your country and your city and set a password in order to make that be a permanent account. And that'll be important too when you make an outbound request. So when you get that email come back, it'll give you a link, and then it'll suggest that you update your profile and set a password to make that permanent. Okay, but that's really all the navigation. Then, as we said, this top part is really the key to the whole site, and that's to create a collaboration case. And as indicated, you can either do a search here, or you can select from your list of favorites. You'll see here I've pinned a couple to it, but very straightforward if you want to add your partners to it. But let's just start here first with quick search. And you can see here it's a dynamic search, so it's going to quickly start to pull stuff up. Here's this example where it may come up with a thing that says you don't have a relationship with this member. All this means is they are part of TSANet, but they don't have a relationship with you. So when you do this send invite, you can see it's going to come up with some information here, just a short comment on why you want to work with this partner. And again, we'll work with your business manager to try to understand how to best make that connection. You can see here on the bottom, if there's somebody you're not able to find, you've got the not able to find partner. And again, same thing, right? It's going to pull up a quick little form, ask you a little bit of information. Once you press submit, again, we're going to get that. We're going to work with your business manager to resolve that. So certainly when you find issues within the search, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go and select you guys just so you kind of see, and I'll show a couple of different other ones as well. But when you select a member, it's going to automatically populate your information on this left-hand side, right? So this is your contact information. And here you can see kind of why it's important to have that information updated. If it's missing and you enter it here, no big deal. We'll update your profile dynamically. But preferably this is set and auto-populated. You would enter your case number, right? So, and I guess using Zendesk, it'd be some, Zendesk ticket number. And it's important to do this because this creates the linkage back into your system. You would enter the problem summary, description. It always indicates including product version, troubleshooting steps, error messages, as verbose as you can make it so they can kind of understand what the issue is and how to best assign it. Then your common customer information section. You have the company name, the contact, that email, and then the phone number, and then alternate case number, right? So if the member is working with you, if you're collaborating with a customer, it's always best practice to say, hey, I'm going to collaborate with partner XYZ. Do you already have a case number with them? And then enter that in there as well. And then the last piece is to set the priority. So here, going and selecting the priority is going to dynamically give you what the response SLA should be. So you can see here, I selected P3. It's going to come up next business day. P2, it's dynamically changing to 4 hours. So as a user, you know the expectation on when you should get that response back. So that kind of helps you set some expectations with the partner. Again, that's all included in the emails, so there's no need to kind of know what these SLAs and stuff are. The system's going to tell you, and once you do that, you press submit, and that again, it's going to key off that email process. So that's really it. I'm going to just show you a couple others, just so you get a little bit of sense of where you may find some variation. So, for example, Actian, they're on the system. So you can see here their form looks exactly the same, with the exception of they have this product selector here. So they're having you select a product. So there could be some forms that are asking for some other piece of information. Let's see another one just to give you a couple examples here. So here's Unisys, and again, they're asking for the serial number. So you may find some members that have some custom fields that have been added, but for the most part, you're going to see everyone that looks very, very similar. And the last piece I want to show you is if you collaborate with somebody that has not migrated onto TSANet Connect yet. So, and hopefully we'll get them on soon. So you'll see if a member is not migrated, it's just going to show you the standard process form that you see on the member web. So you'll be able to collaborate with all the members, no matter if they're already migrated to the new form-based method or if we have not migrated them yet. You're always going to find everyone in here. And like I said, by the end of the year, you're going to see 100% of them in that form-based method. Okay, so maybe I'll pause here, see if there's any